where we're headed in terms of an uptrend.
Watch Yorba.tv with Michael Yorba.
Right now we still have a liquidity crunch.
A new network for the serious investor.
Indicators have to complement each other.
Yorba.tv.
There's good news on the horizon.
Cutting edge information from the trading floor.
Commodities markets are pretty much in a frenzy.
Live on the web at the closing bell.
Record high in crude today.
Weekdays 3 to 4 p.m. Central on Yorba.tv.
The risk of loss in trading futures and options can be substantial. Therefore, only genuine risk funds should be used in such trading. Futures and options may not be a suitable investment for all individuals, and individuals should carefully consider their financial condition in deciding whether to trade. Option traders should be aware that the exercise of a long option will result in a futures position. Information herein has been obtained and prepared from sources believed to be reliable. Comments contained in these materials are not intended to be solicitation to buy or sell any of the commodities mentioned. Past performance is not indicative of any future performance. Opinions expressed here are the opinions of the author only, and not the opinion of any firm the author may be affiliated or associated with.
Welcome to Commodity Classics. I'm Michael Yorba, your host. Thanks for joining us today. My first guest today is Jeanette Schwartz-Young, the option queen. She's on the floor of the ICE exchange. She's going to talk to us about a lot of different markets. We're going to go into the U.S. dollar. We're going to go into the transportation index, the S&P. And I'm not sure, but maybe we'll talk about some crude oil. Now, Jeanette's currently filling an order on the floor right now. And I wanted to take a moment just to thank everybody for who's gone into our shout box and been able to take a peek at what we're doing now. Is there any questions out there of what we're talking about, how we can improve the programming here for Yorba TV, for your learning experience as well as your interactive experience? I've put up the social network so that you can go to our experts and ask them all the questions that you'd like to know about in regards to improving your trading. After Jeanette's on the show, well, it looks like Jeanette just came right back in. Let's see if we can bring her in right now off the floor. Let's before she takes off and has to fill another large lot order. All right, Jeanette. Thanks for showing up. Boy, you look great. Hey, a pink jacket today. Is that
pink? Yeah, pink.
Is that leopard skin?
It's like zebra on the lapels.
Zebra, okay.
Yeah, they're all trading animals. What can I tell you?
That's good. A trading animal. I like that. Well, you're a great huntress. All right. What's been going on the floor? What did you want to tell us about anything before?
I think the most interesting thing that's going on the floor is the Big Nothing. You know the movie, The Big Nothing? This is what the Big Nothing is like. I mean, we've had no volume. We've had no interest from the public. We've had no interest from anyone. It looks like everybody stayed at the Hamptons for an extra week of vacation because they're not here and they're not trading.
Really? So it's just dead
there?
It's
very, very deadly quiet. You have a few stragglers in trying to get some things done, but for the most part, it's not what you would call a great business week.
Well,
and we had a strange occurrence yesterday in the VIX as we rallied. The VIX went up with the rally, which is very unusual, which usually goes opposite direction, so that the VIX will go up when you go down, and the VIX will go down when you go up, very much like the bonds, which I send you some charts on. Anyway, so yesterday when we were declining, the VIX was rallying. When we were rallying, the VIX was rallying with us, which is an unusual thing. And then when, of course, we declined, it continued.
Well, which one of the markets you want to start off with? The dollar, the bonds, S&Ps?
You want to start with the S&Ps because everybody wants to know about the S&Ps.
Okay. All right. Daily or the daily 200?
Well, I have the daily chart, which I showed you, which is a very nice chart. And you know what I've decided? to bring up my chart with you at the same time. So, okay, somebody's got my phone behind me, so if it's something, I'll have to jump off. All right, so I'm going to bring up the S&P 500 chart, and there it is. And you can see that little kind of rounded bottom you see on that chart? Yeah. Hold on. Hold on a minute.
Uh-oh, looks like Jeanette's got a fill-in order for us. All right, I'm pretty curious about what's going to happen because I was talking to Tony Chernowski this morning, and he's expecting a pretty sizable move to the downside. He'll be on tomorrow. And I'd like to get Jeanette's take on the floor of the exchange about how she's positioning herself, what she's doing with this market, because if we do have the kind of move that Tony's going to talk about tomorrow, you all better get a grip because this could be pretty hairy. I think Jeanette's going to come back into the show.
You're going to have
So it looks like I'm going to have to wing it here for a little bit. Okay. All right. Well, let's do this. Let's just bring up Jeanette's chart, and I'll look at it right now myself and give my interpretation on it. I've got a little bit of time in the industry sector. All right. We're at the lower end of the Bollinger Band. She's got a little oversold condition down here in the bottom of her stochastics. Looks like it's about a 14-period stochastic. I suspect that she may be looking at some kind of a short-term bounce on the dailies. Don, let's go ahead and switch to that next chart and see what she's got here. And I can't tell exactly what that moving average is that's running through that chart, but I would suspect that it's maybe about a 200-day moving average, just to give a guess. And let me just venture a guess. I bet she says we're in for a little bit of a bounce off of this one. And while she's off filling that order, we'll just kind of peel right through her charts. Dow Jones Transportation Average. Yeah, I think that we ought to go to the daily. Is it over? Did you do the 100 lot?
It's still sitting there. It's sitting there. They'll tell me if they do it. Okay, so this is what happens on a trading floor. You do have to answer phones and do orders.
Hey, you know, that's the risk I take by calling you while the market's still open.
Yeah, well, the good news is that the market's going to close in 9 minutes, and then I won't have to do the order. You'll buy 100? Buy 40, let's go 15. Go 15. Now you got to go sit down and relax.
Okay.
Okay.
All right, well, I'll just take it from here. Let's watch what she...
take it. All right.
We'll just watch what you're doing. Okay, so now she's going to run out there and fill an order. Zip, zip, zip. And she's off into the trade. Nope, now she's back. Oh, all right, ladies and gentlemen, I'll just wing it from here. Let me try. Oh, Ozzie Pete. Happy birthday. Thanks very much, Ozzie Pete. I appreciate that. Let me refresh this and see if I got a question in the shout box that I can answer here. All right, Jeanette, you see it a problem if the U.S. dollar gets smacked on the ICE exchange, considering what we saw a few weeks ago, 74.50 filled. Should we be putting bids in at 60? Okay, Ozzie Pete, when she comes back, I'll make sure that we get that question out to her. And I think we're going to have, as a matter of fact, you know what? I'm going to change her style. We're going to start off with $1 just to answer your question, Ozzie Pete. I appreciate that. And by the way, since you were so interested in the FX fund, I'm going to break down the fund to you later at the last segment. Are you there?
Almost there.
She's almost there.
Okay, we're done. All right, fine.
Did you get your order filled?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good.
I'm back.
Okay. All right, I got a question for you in the shout box.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, we're going to shift gears for just a second here.
Sure.
Ozzie Pete, who gets up every morning early, our show's on at 6 a.m. in Australia. And he says, Jeanette, so you see it a problem if the U.S. dollar gets smacked on the ICE exchange, considering what we saw a few weeks ago, 74.50 filled. Should we be putting in bids at 60?
Oh God, 60. Are you doing dollar index? Would be the first question. If you're doing dollar index, I do have a chart for you to look at. I don't know where it is, Yorba, but you can bring it up now.
We'll bring it up. All right, we'll bring the first one.
We have a daily chart, and there's your dollar index. I'm going to get mine up to look like it. The dollar actually today is at 72.58. That is if he wants the dollar index. All right? Mm-hmm. Now, my level for the dollar index would be somewhere around 71 or a little lower, where I would like to buy it around 70 cents, 70 and a half, 70.45, something like that. You could take a shot on it at that level. It's likely that it will bounce big time from there. Okay. If you look at that chart, you can see it.
Okay.
All right. I don't know which chart you brought up.
So I take it you're bullish. That's the dollar weekly. Let's go to the other dollar chart, Don.
I was looking at the dollar daily.
We got it up now.
And I was looking at that little rounded bottom there. You see that?
Yeah.
A little kind of hook, like a J hook almost. And that, it looks like it's trying to get supported. But on the other hand, we could go back down and test that low also.
Okay. All right. So I take it you're looking to buy weakness on this dollar. You feel that we're going to get a decent rally out of here in the short term?
Yes, I think you will.
Okay.
I think you will.
Right.
Especially since Fed funds and the bonds are supporting higher interest rates now. Or telling us that the higher interest rates are coming, which is dollar supportive. Remember, if we have higher interest rates, they go up.
Okay.
All right. So, and if you also look at that chart that I sent you, the daily chart, you have the Stokes crossing, and it's bending to the upside.
Right.
And there's no reason to believe that it won't continue. You're below the 20-period moving average, which is just a little red line there. And you see that red line right there. So you're below that, and as you cross above it, you'll go to the upper edge of the Bollinger Band. And that'll tell you where it'll probably stop.
Do you feel that we've got a buy signal on this dollar yet, or you want to see a pullback and then buy the next pullback?
I would like to see the market rally through the 74 and change, because I think that is a stumbling block. That's a bunch of clumps up there on the top that go back to May 12th or so. If you look at your chart, you see that area, and that is the area you need to get through.
Okay, let's flip to the weekly and give me your take on that.
Okay, I'm going to bring up my chart, which is the same as yours, because this time, that's what I did.
Okay.
Better. Now, what I did in the weekly chart was I drew a downtrend line.
Got it.
A long-term downtrend line. Now, you see those lines. There's a short-term downtrend line and a long-term downtrend line. Both of them need to be gotten rid of before you will have any kind of a meaningful rally in this currency. But on the good side, you see higher lows on the Stokes underneath it.
Yes.
You see that higher lows, and you see the lines crossing, which is telling you you're getting a buy signal.
For those that don't know, would you call that convergence or divergence?
Convergence. It's not divergence. Actually, could be. On the decline, we went high. Yeah, it's a divergence.
Thank you.
It is.
Okay.
But you see those downtrend lines, you could give levels. The very first one is a very short-term buy signal, which would be stopped at the other downtrend line. The other one, of course, you get through that, and you're going to go back up, 76 or change.
Okay. Let's move on to the bond market, because they're pretty closely related right now.
Yes, they are.
Okay. Let's go to the bond daily chart. Would you like to...
Yeah, if I gave you one, did I give you one, or give you only weekly and a monthly?
No, I've got one that says day in parentheses, and then... Excuse me. Let's go to the weekly.
I think you only have a weekly.
We have a weekly and a monthly. Let's go to the weekly.
Okay. Now, in the weekly chart, I drew three things on the chart. First of all, I drew a horizontal line, which means I think that there's going to be very good support at 114.15 or 114.20. You see that?
Yes.
Okay, that's a horizontal line. I love horizontal lines. I use them all the time. Now, you also see, to turn this bear trend into a bull market, you must trade above 118.24, it looks like to me. You see that downtrend line?
I do.
All right, so that's where you need to go to make interest rates go lower. Right now, they look like they're going higher. The only fly in the ointment for the bears, or right now, is that downtrend line I drew on top of the stochastics. As you go up and get beyond the 20 level on a stoke, you will break the trend. It should really stop at around 40 if it is going to continue in a bearish trend.
Okay. Now, this is a weekly chart, so
yeah.
It's going to take a little while to build that.
Yeah, and I also sent you a monthly chart because I thought that one was also very interesting to look at.
We've got it up.
You got it. Okay, there it is. There's your downtrend line again. You see that how important that downtrend line is?
Yes.
And you see how we're curling over? It looks like we're going to go lower on a monthly basis.
Okay.
On a monthly basis, you've got a sell signal. You're not even at neutral yet. You have plenty of room to the downside.
Got it. One last question that came up in the shout box. They wanted to find out if that is truly a symmetrical triangle that you drew on the U.S. dollar that you were trying to show everybody.
That's not necessarily, I'm not sure it is or isn't.
Okay.
I'm not really sure, but it could be. The question seems to be, are we forming a pennant?
Right.
That would be symmetrical triangles. It's going to break one way or the other, and I think more likely is to the upside a little bit, although I don't see it as any huge deal.
Okay. Let's take a break here on our show, and we'll be right back on the other side of the commercial with more from Jeanette. All right, Jeanette?
Okay, great.
All right, we'll be right back. I'm Michael Yorba with Jeanette Schwartz, the option queen, and we'll be right back.